A new experiment in GTA 5. Today we will test which car can drive through water bumps. And each time they get bigger and bigger, but it becomes more and more difficult to drive through them. So watch until the end, give a like, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new experiments.
Hi guys! As always, your favorite little penguin Koki is here with you.
And today we have a brand new experiment where we're going to see exactly how far these cars can go across real water bumps. For this special experiment, I've prepared a truly unusual off-road car collection, starting all the way with old off-road supercars and ending with the absolute biggest monster trucks. So make sure to watch until the very end, and of course, remember to leave your like so that we can keep going. As many cars as possible can make it to the finish line. Well, I suggest we don't waste any time and start right away with today's smallest car. This is just a regular go-kart. Yeah, it looks really slow, and its top speed is about 30 kilometers per hour. But maybe this car will make it to the finish line. Who knows? We've got a lot of cars today. There are even military vehicles, military monster trucks. I've honestly never seen anything like this before. And of course, a vast collection of rugged off-road vehicles. So, we'll start with the smallest car, and then gradually progress toward the larger models. Look, it's barely making it through. So, as you can see, we are already having some pretty serious problems at the very first level. Alright, fine. This is level number 2. And here in this stage, there should be even more water than before. Yeah, just look at that. The car is almost completely submerged under the surface, but it is still somehow making it through for now. Seriously, with each level, the distance between the water bumps keeps getting bigger and bigger. And this is the third level. Look, it's already orange. So this is already the orange danger level. Although even despite that, our car is making it through. That's for real. Cool, okay. Fourth level. Now it's really gonna be tough here. I don't know if we'll manage or not, but we'll try our best. Look, it's actually making it through. I'm submerged up to my head. At this point, it's not even a car anymore, it's a submarine. Basically. But something tells me we won't make it to the red level because the car is getting slower and slower and pretty soon it's just going to sink. Well, that's it. It sank. All I had to do was say it. It is quite unfortunate that we never actually reached the 5th level. We were so close, just the red level left, and that's it. We were almost at the finish line. I'm sure bigger cars will definitely handle this challenge. Okay, but honestly, it's not like this car is that much bigger. This is a sports car from the past. It's probably 100 years old, if not more, but alright. Let's hope it's much cooler than our previous car was. Yeah, at least in terms of the suspension, it's definitely much better than the old one. I mean, look, we speed up, and on the second level, it barely feels the water bumps. It just drives through perfectly. The most important thing is not to sink. And by the way, it's faster, 100%. It's 2 or 3 times faster than our previous car. We're jumping over these bumps, and it's great. Level 4, passing it. Look, we're gaining speed. Come on, accelerate, just not into the water. The most important thing is to keep water out of the engine, otherwise that's it. That would be the end of our run. Look, we're on the red level now, but it's actually getting really hard here. The car starts to skid, and it's completely submerged underwater. I'm doing my best to reach the finish line. Come on. No, that's it, we just sank. Well, it wasn't for nothing. This is level 6. It's really deep here. I don't think even a truck could make it through. Well, for now, this is the absolute record holder and today's winner, who managed to get through almost 6 whole levels. Alright. And what do we have here? A real buggy. Here it is. By the way, it should be very light and able to go anywhere because after all, it's a buggy. Let's go. Yeah, that's right. There are definitely some questions about the suspension though. Already on the first level, the car just flips 360 degrees. That's truly quite unfortunate, as you might expect. I'll have to manage the situation really well. It skids really hard. You see, we're just bouncing around like some kind of jumping toy. But for now, it's okay. It's making it through. That's the most important thing. For now, the most important thing is that water hasn't gotten into the engine yet. Even though the design is very open. I mean, I can see the engine right now. It could sink at any moment, but for now, it's still going. I can hear that. Little by little, water is starting to get into the engine. It's already running a bit differently. These are those very, very subtle moments, you know? You need to understand how an engine is supposed to work. If you know cars, you can already tell when an engine is running well and when it's not. And now, I'm starting to hear that the biker isn't running very well. Alright, so we go for maximum acceleration, just like a submarine. Look, dive under the water, then up, then under again, then up. Seriously, wait, hold on. This is already level 7, but how does it even make it through? Come on, come on. That is it right there. We just sank to the bottom. So, on level 7, that's unfortunately the end. And of course, we've also got a couple of supercars and sports cars today. Though honestly, this particular sports car isn't really that great, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a classic Ford Mustang, and it's super old too. I think it's at least 50 years old, if not even more than that, and it's completely broken down. I'll be really surprised if this car makes it to the finish line. Seriously, that would be hilarious. Okay, let's go. Accelerating. We're picking up our absolute maximum speed, and I hope we can at least reach all the way to the red level. Because it's a Mustang, it is a high-performance sports car, and that's it. It won't go any further. We've arrived. Seriously. So we only managed to get through 2 levels. Are you kidding me? So on the 3rd level, that's it. The car can't go any further. That's really sad. Well, okay, the most important thing is that we have the coolest, fastest cars. For example, look at this. 2 Batmobiles with turbo boosters. 1, 2, 3. That is perfect. Although, you are still going to need to know how to properly use the turbo booster. For now, we don't need it, because here, the spacing between these water bumps is far too small. It's actually really hard for now. Oh no, easy. The main thing is that water doesn't get into the turbo booster, otherwise we'll really have problems. Now this I like much more. Alright, come on, there we go. A perfect flip. Brake, no, just not into the water, not into the water. Here, I think we'll get through this super easily. Yeah, that was easy. Okay, acceleration and we're flying. Whoa. I like this. That's how you should do it. Stop. Perfect. And look, now the final jump with the turbo booster straight to the finish. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Woohoo! Or not straight to the finish. Wait, hold on. Okay, not quite to the finish. We're on level 7, halfway through level 7. We flew through it. Look how deep it is here. Whoa, perfect. Okay, let's try to get through without the turbo booster. Will it work? No, it won't work. Acceleration is 100% necessary. We even flew past the finish, but without the turbo booster, as you saw yourself, it's impossible. The car is completely submerged underwater and can't make it. But this car has a turbo booster and 100% completed this challenge. And we also have another awesome car, the Batmobile. It looks like it's drawn, you know, just like from a comic book, seriously. But there's one thing. This car doesn't have a turbo booster. Unfortunately, yeah. So, it's just a regular Batmobile without any superpowers. Oh, wait, it can jump. It can jump. Seriously, look. Okay, at least it can jump. We've got that. That should definitely help. It jumps really well. Look, so we can just quickly take it and easily jump right over a large bump. Like this. There we go, perfect. Another jump. One more time. There, a nice little jump. Awesome, I like it. There, another jump and another. We can even avoid the water. Look, we jumped like this. All right, I jumped a bit too far. There, a jump. This is really cool. I like it. Look, another jump. And now we're already on the red level. This is honestly perfect. Okay. Brake. Speed up and more. There we go. There we go. See, look. That's what I was talking about. This is what I... Oh, wow. Easy, easy, easy. The most important thing is not to fall into the water. Is it really just cars for us today? Just about any vehicle with some kind of superpower can successfully cross the finish line. But the turbo boost car and the Batmobile with the jump truly look as though they are about to reach the finish at this very moment. Come on, come on, wow. That was really incredibly close and we almost drowned back there. But at least 2 of the Batmobiles have already successfully made it to the finish line. That's really cool, let's keep going. Alright, this is the last of the low cars. Next up is the Limousine, and after that, we get into the serious off-roaders and monster trucks. However, here we have a military vehicle, equipped with mounted rockets and dual miniguns. That's really cool. And it can also jump Of course, not as high as the previous car because this is a military vehicle. It's armored. Yeah, it's got real armor on it. Whoa. But it can almost do a flip. Wait, seriously? I really thought I wasn't going to flip over just now. It is incredibly heavy, and to be completely honest with you, I really thought that was the end of it. Just a tiny bit more weight, and we would have been completely stuck right there. Seriously? It simply cannot get through. Even jumping doesn't seem to help at all. Look, I am trying somehow. Oh, okay. But this car is really problematic because of the heavy armor. It is just so heavy, and honestly, its off-road capability is quite terrible. That is really all there is to it. Seriously, it is completely identical in every way to our Ford Mustang. Alright then, finally, this classic black stretch limousine is a real, authentic gangster limo. It looks really cool, really powerful. I suggest, we try an experiment. Let's try going without brakes at all as fast as possible. Although, honestly, in this limo, going fast is actually possible. 40 kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast. As strange as that may sound. And we also have a problem because it's so long. That's it. It's stuck. Seriously. On the second level, we even made it to the third level. That's it. It's stuck. It really won't go any further. Yeah. That was, of course, a huge mistake. Taking the limousine for this challenge. I really didn't expect that it would just get stuck right on the second level. Not even in the water, but just on that bump. That's unfortunate. Well, guys, it's time to move on to real off-road vehicles. Now, this should be the real deal. It's gonna be really cool because the suspension is much higher. And that can only mean one thing. That. Whoa, just look at that. How perfectly, almost perfectly, the car makes it all the way up to the orange level. There were absolutely no problems at all during the climb. It is like we were just driving on a completely flat road and everything was just going great. Here, of course, the distance has become a bit bigger than before and it is getting a bit harder to get through now. Although, seriously, do you see this? You can barely feel it at all. The most important thing is our engine is right in the back. Do you see it? I see it too. So the main thing is not to flood it. We're already at the highest red level alert and so far everything is proceeding along absolutely perfectly. It'll probably be quite tricky on the very last one, I think. Although we haven't even reached that final one yet. That's it. The car just went and completely sank into the water. We're heading out to test even bigger cars. Okay, we've got another mini buggy. Well, although calling it mini, this is a real buggy. And it actually looks extremely fast. So let's try to complete the challenge without using any brakes. Didn't really work out. That was the fastest run-through. Well, run-through, sort of. I wouldn't really call it a run-through. We just went and sank. That's really sad. Well, okay, it's fine. I'm not upset. I'm heading directly to the next car right now. Look how tall it is. These massive wheels are as tall as I am. That is about 1.70 meters tall. Or perhaps even 1.80 meters. Wow, now that's really tall. Look how perfect it is. I feel like if I speed up, it's like I'm driving on a flat road. Seriously! The most important thing is not to rush because the car starts to flip over and... Whoa, 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 easy, easy, easy. How do you even get through this? This is actually pretty tricky. Of course, monster trucks have their downsides. They bounce around like pogo sticks. So if they skid or flip over, that's it. Getting back upright is really tough. Especially if the road is uneven. Alright, let's go. We're picking up maximum speed. And now we're already hitting the red level. That was easy enough. This is definitely a red danger level situation, mainly because the chance of us sinking right here is incredibly high. Hey, what on earth are you doing? Wait, no, please stop. I really don't want to sink down to the bottom. Are you seriously doing this to us right now? That's it. We just went and sank. Seriously? And the most important thing is there are fewer and fewer cars each time. And now we only have 4 cars left. Seriously? Yeah, that's really bad because so far, let me remind you, only two cars from the entire collection have made it to the finish line. We need to fix this urgently. Next up, we have the Bugatti. But not an ordinary one. This one's on big wheels. Now that's really, really cool. I really like this. Easy. The most important thing is not to rush. Let's try not to speed, but seriously, try to be as careful as possible to make it all the way to the finish line. Oh, that was very, very, very dangerous indeed, because at any moment we could have easily sunk right into the water. But speed is also important, meaning you need to get through the water as quickly as possible, because when you go slowly through water, there's a higher chance that water will get into the engine. So we do need speed, but it has to be controlled so that you can go through perfectly fast, but at the same time also not to stay underwater. Just like right now. Come on, carefully. We're completely submerging under the water. The final 7th level. That's unfortunate. Quiet. Okay. No, it stalled. Look, that's it. I can't drive anymore. That's exactly what I was talking about. We only had 2 more rings to go. We made it halfway through the 7th level, and our Bugatti just stopped right there. That's exactly what I was talking about. But the most important thing is that the tallest cars are still left. And here, for example, is a military monster truck. I'm sure you've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like this myself. It's really cool. These kinds of monster trucks are actually used to drive through swamps. Of course, we don't have a swamp today, but it's more or less similar. By the way, if you really want me to do a completely separate experiment where we test how these cars actually drive through a real messy swamp, a place where you could actually sink in deep, let's try to get, for example, just 2 likes on this video right now. Seriously, just 2 likes, that's enough. And write in the comments that you want a swamp experiment. Then it will be really awesome. Okay, let's go. The current top speed is 50 kilometers per hour. But so far, everything is running perfectly. The only thing is, the car is quite heavy. Come on, wow, perfect. One more time and we are right at the finish line. Come on, woohoo, perfect. That's exactly what I was talking about. The bigger the car, the higher the chance of making it to the finish line. And this military monster truck just proved it to us. And this, by the way, is a real Formula 1 car. A real Formula 1 monster truck, to be exact. You've likely never seen anything like this. How many wheels does it have? 6 wheels. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And just look at how gigantic it is. Formula 1. Which means it's really fast. So I don't even feel the acceleration at top speed. Look how perfectly the suspension works. I really like this. Seriously, we are going to get through every single thing in just a second. Come on now, keep moving. Left, right, left, right. Wow, okay, this is looking good. Now, here you can start to feel the suspension, but I'm sure we'll get through it easily. So, the sea is at red level, but our Formula car doesn't even go underwater. So, if the wheels are underwater, it's no big deal. Nothing will happen. At most, they'll just rust. Maybe sometime in the near future. But water doesn't get into the engine, and that's the most important thing. Here, of course, it definitely does get in because the car is submerged. But that's not really a problem for us. We're almost there. Oh, keep moving. Come on, come on. There we go. That's it. Now, the 7th level is going to be really tough, but I'm sure our formula can handle it. Go a bit more to the right, to the left. The most important thing is not to go underwater. Come on, come on. The last level and woohoo, perfect! That's exactly what I was talking about. There are already 4 cars right at the finish line. And now we have the absolute biggest Ferrari left. So let's go test it out. Parappa-bam-bam. Well, guys, this is actually the world's largest Ferrari. The incredible SF90 model equipped with a powerful turbo booster. Although, I think we might not even need the turbo booster here. Just look at this. I don't feel anything at all. Seriously. Ha ha ha. Ah, this really looks hilarious. It's like, you know, driving over a little bump. Although, okay, here it's definitely not a little bump anymore. The car is actually starting to bounce. All right. Oh. Now, this is really easy. That's problematic. Like I said, monster trucks do have their downsides. Just small ones. It's that they bounce around like rubber balls. So how am I supposed to turn around? How do I turn around? Seriously? Okay, carefully now. Left, right. Phew, look. We use the boost and just fly straight to the finish line. Bam, bam, right into the palm tree. We crash and perfectly complete this little experiment. Wink. And now we already have 5 cars at the finish line. 2 Batmobiles, 2 off-roaders, and 1 Ferrari monster truck. By the way, I think we could even drive back the other way in the Easy without any problems at all. And that's actually really cool. So, next time we need to test only the biggest cars. Most importantly, if you want to see a series like that where we test them out, the biggest monster trucks in this experiment, and do a separate experiment with the swamp, let's get 2 likes on this video, just like we agreed. And of course, subscribe to the channel with the bell if you haven't already, and don't forget to leave a comment. Well, as always, it was me, your favorite penguin, and we'll see each other again. Goodbye for now.